Colm Flynn, foreign correspondent for EWTN News, joins me now to break down the Pope's trip to Africa. Now, Colm, you traveled to Algeria and produced a documentary on Christianity there. What do you think the Holy Father will experience in regard to the Catholic and Christian community there?
Veronica, it's great to see you and a very good evening. This is going to be, I think, one of the most fascinating countries that he will encounter on this trip across Africa, because we went there 2 months ago, as you mentioned, to produce a documentary that has already been watched by hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube in anticipation of this visit. When you look at the fabric of the country, it is enormous, with a large portion of it in the Sahara Desert. But the population alone is 50 million people. And just to give you an idea of how this really is a Muslim majority country, the number of Catholics out of 50 million, 9,000. So it is a tiny, less than 1%. So when you are such a minority within the country, you have many challenges. Yes, they say there is religious freedom as per their constitution in Algeria. But as we learned when we were there, going around the country very delicately and sensitively, talking to the bishops and the faithful who would talk to us on camera, that religious freedom does come with its limits. For example, they are allowed practice in their churches and celebrate Mass and celebrate the Eucharist, but under no circumstances would they be allowed go outside and proselytize or evangelize or hand out a Bible, even if someone requested it. And even conversions, people who convert from Islam to Christianity, I was told it does happen, it's very rare, but we found it very difficult to find people to talk about it in the country.
Now, why do you think Pope Leo selected the countries and also specifically Algeria?
Well, we know that Pope Leo XIV is an Augustinian, and in fact, today it is a Muslim-majority country, Algeria, but it was once a stronghold of Christianity. That part of northern Africa is such an important centre for Christians. In fact, the basilica, the modern-day basilica in Annaba, which was then Hippo Regius, when St. Augustine was the bishop there in the late 4th and early 15th century, that was a place of pilgrimage as people moved through heading to the Holy Land. So I think to connect with his roots, the roots of his order, when you're there, if you watch the documentary online, we open in Annaba and I'm standing in the ruins of that incredible cathedral from the 4th, 5th century where St. Augustine would have preached, where he would have celebrated Mass. So you really are so close to history, and those remains, which is incredible for a Muslim majority country, they still stand there today. So I know the Pope is going to Algiers, the capital, and he will then go to Annaba, whereas in our documentary we also went to cities like Constantine and to Oran and to other parts of the country. So it is a vast country, a very complex situation for the Christians there, a very difficult situation for the Christians there, and I think it's going to be probably one of the most fascinating countries that the Pope will stop on this trip across Africa.
Really incredible insight that you had from on the ground. Colm Flynn, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Veronica.